Hi again, this is Katie. Welcome to this video for C++. I'm going to show you in here how to install the required software that's needed, or show you where you can find instructions on that. So we're going to go in Unit 0 and then setting up our work environment. And I have created a PDF for you on downloading and installing the required software. Now we have a couple of choices. Let me walk through this real quick. We're going to use Visual Studio 2017 for this course. If you have an older version, it'll work. If you have some other compiler, that'll work as well. If you have nothing, then I think the best option is to download one free from the internet that I'm going to show you where to download that from. So we have a couple of choices. One, you can download the full enterprise version from GRCC's On the Hub. On the Hub is a place where you can get a bunch of free software from the college. The first day of class, or the first week of class, you'll get an email from our site administrator, and they will give you information on how to log into On the Hub. Once you have that information on how to log in, they'll send it to your email, your student email account. You can go in here, remember, and start searching for that software. So under student, I'm going to go under faculty and staff. Mine's very similar to yours, but you will have a bunch of free software that you can gain access to. Instead of going through and just looking around to find what you need, we can search Visual Studio, and from here you can see you can get the whole enterprise suite. Now this is a very big software program. It's a couple $1,000 if you were to buy it, but this is a student license. You can use it while you're a student at the college or any student. You can't build anything from this program and sell it for $1 million, but it is a great tool to use while you're learning programming languages. Now I am going to use something that's a little bit smaller. I'm going to show you that too, but here's one place that you can download it. So you add it to your cart and you go through those steps from here to download it from On the Hub, and then it will download an ISO image, and then you go ahead and install it from there. The instructions are pretty easy as you follow along. Now one other option, and also by the way, there's a lot of other awesome software that is On the Hub. You can get Adobe products cheaper. You can get server products for free. VM workstation software, which is great if you have a different operating system class that you're taking. Just a lot of really good things in here. So keep that login for this semester, and maybe you want to peruse the free software later on. But that's one place where you can get Visual Studio. Now back to our document. Oops, not that document. Where did it go? Over. Where did I put it? Where did it go? Did I close it? I must have. Let me open it again. I must have. Oh, when I clicked on the link, it just opened up in the same window. I got it. Okay, so that's On the Hub. Now, if you are going to take other programming classes at JRCC or anywhere, I would recommend installing the full Enterprise Edition. If you're doing C# or Visual Basic, you're going to use that studio for other classes, so I would recommend it. Here is a link. I'll share this, it's shared in the resources folder of Blackboard, but here is a difference between the different versions of Studio 2017. So there's Professional, there's Enterprise, and then there's Community, which is what I'm going to use on my computer and what I recommend if you just want a quick start as well. So, and you can read all the things that come different with each installation of it. So Enterprise is like the full load, everything. Now, going on to number 2 here, you can download Visual Studio from Microsoft directly. So one of the versions, Community 2017, is free for Microsoft. It's a slimmed down version of the compiler, but it has the fully featured IDE for students. So it's everything that you want. Opening a new tab this time. It's everything that you need for the class. Now, one of the reasons I recommend this is it allows us to get a quick start, and it doesn't take up a lot of computer space. Well, it still takes up a decent amount of space. It is a big studio suite, but it's not as much as the full enterprise version. So ultimately, the choice is up to you if you're going to download the full enterprise edition or the community edition for free. What that link takes you out to here is the download version, the download site. These, you don't want to install either one of these from here because you can get it from on the hub, but the community version is what I've done. So you just click here and start the download, and from there you have to do from there you download it, and then you can go through the installation process. I'll show you something on the installation process in just a second. It's a pretty easy install. I've already installed it, so we're not going to go through that right now. But that is where you can download it. This is, if you're just new into programming and you're not sure where you're going from here and you just want a quick start, I recommend the community version. It's nice and light, um, but the interfaces between enterprise and community are the same. Everything that we'll do in the class will be the same. Now, if you are a Mac user, I have zero experience with any of these compilers, but here are some suggestions for you. NetBeans, that's one that you'll see recommended when we read through our course information on Netacad. Another one, Xcode, that's already part of your operating system. So you can do some Googling how to create C++ programs with Xcode. There's a lot of resources. I did read some resources, and it looks pretty easy. Again, our code is going to be the same. Just how you set up your compiler and you set up your programs are going to be different than how we set ours up using Visual Studio. If you're a Mac user, you're responsible for figuring out how to set up a C++ program with one of these other compilers. Another one is Visual Studio Code, and if you notice on this link here, this is a Microsoft product for Mac or Linux systems, and it will allow you to install and use C++ through that one. I'm not sure about that, how it'll work, because click over here on this Mac OS. Here is Visual Studio Community for Mac. Give those a try if you'd like. That might be a good solution. It's just, you think of Visual Studio, which is a Microsoft product, on a Mac system, they typically aren't meant to work together, but it's an option for you if you have a Mac. Another option, if you're a Mac user, you can install a Windows system using a virtual machine like VM Workstation, and then install VM or Visual Studio like we're going to use on your system as well. So if you're a Mac user, figure it out. If you really get stuck, you'll have to go to the Open Lab and use one of their Windows systems there that has Visual Studio installed on it. Okay, installing, just some quick instructions on installing. After you've downloaded the installation file, go through the steps to install it. It's pretty straightforward, and you select most of the defaults. I want to point out one thing. On the workloads page, when you get to the installation, make sure you check all three of these boxes. We want to select the Windows Universal Platform, the desktop development for C++, and the .NET desktop development. That's the only option. By default, I think only one of those is selected, so make sure you select all 3 boxes there, and then go on with the installation. Um, so on the workloads window, make sure you select all 3. The estimated space for those add-ons is about 17 gigs. And if you happen to miss one of those steps in there, you can go back and modify your installation after you're done with it. I went through the installation. It's a really easy install. You won't have any problems. Just make sure you select all 3. If you miss something, you'll see with the installation that there is a way. Let's see. You have something called the Visual Studio installer, and you can go back and add on to it. So Visual Studio has a lot of things. We can just say we want to use it for something small, and then maybe you'll take a class in the future and you need to add on to it. You would go through that process to add on to your studio, add more parts of it. So that's the installation process. Download and install your software now. We need it before we can go on. In the next video I'm going to create real quick is just to show you how to use Visual Studio. So get something on your system. We'll need it before we can go on with our classes or with this class. Thank you.